Hey, everybody, this is Joe Joseph, and this is the DailySheeple.com's News Shot. Fox 5 out of New York had an article today that really it infuriated me. I'll be honest with you, folks. I mean, because enough already, you know. This whole idea of political correctness is really, it's reached the crescendo about 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and I just can't take it anymore. It needs to stop. But Google is now adding a tool to flag offensive search results. That's right. As if it's not bad enough that they're using this whole fake news and, oh, my feelings are hurt. And, now they are going a step further and they're flagging content that might come across as upsetting or offensive in search results. And see, they can get away with this, folks, simply because Google is a private corporation. And so this, my friends, is what happens when you have a government and private partnership. You get fascism. This is what happens, is now you have the government willing to execute an agenda because the government gives these guys immunity and carte blanche. Basically, they can do whatever the hell they want. Government's not going to look their way. They're not going to be regulated. Everything's going to be okay. All you got to do is just do our bidding from time to time. Everything will be all right. And this is one of the ways that government can skirt around the Constitution, simply by doing this. Because, folks, look, there's other search engines out there. You don't need to use Google. You can use somebody else. So as long as there's alternatives, no court will side with you in any sort of constitutional violation in this regard. But it says now that there are review teams comprised of contractors known as quality raters that already comb through websites and other content to flag questionable items such as pornography. Now, Google added a new category, upsetting and offensive. And in its guideline, this is now included in the guidelines for quality raters. So, for example, content with a racial slur or extremely offensive terminology could now get flagged as such. And what happens is when it's flagged, it moves down the list. And we know what happens with attention span in this country, or in the world for that matter, is when it comes to search results, people don't oftentimes go to page 2 or 3 or even further. They typically take page 1, and by the time they get to page 1, they're like, ugh, and they go and pick something off that page. They don't have the attention span to comb through the stuff. Normally, folks, if you go to the farther end of the search results, or even in the middle, you typically find the forbidden fruit that they don't want you to see. And, when oftentimes I'm looking for news, that's where I have to go, because that's where the real stuff is. The stuff up top, not so much. They hide a lot of that, and now they're finding more excuses to push good stuff, like the Daily Sheeple, like shtfplan.com, and other sites to bury us, to reduce the amount of viewership and readership. And as a result, they're trying to knock us out. Well, I can tell you, Google, it ain't going to work. The Daily Sheeple is here to stay. And we'll keep on keeping on as long as we have your support. Folks, this was the DailySheeple.com's News Shot. Feel free to comment below and support us by going over to the DailySheeple.com and subscribing to our newsletter today. Have a great day, everybody. Take care.